Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our final week here of our GT3 Spring Fling season. My name is Matt McAdams. I've been told I need to start introducing myself because some people still call me Moose, but you know what? We're going by the name. Got to brand myself. Some nonsense like that. Who knows? Anyways, if anybody is learning that for the first time, hi. Feel free to call me Matt or McAdams. Or that guy speaking through the screen. I don't give a crap. Anyways, got an exciting race. We are going to be at Kyalami this weekend. Got 24 cars on the track at this moment. Man, we are not even 10 minutes into the stream. We are already falling apart, folks. But very special track to me and a couple of my friends. We know this one, well, quite literally, and perhaps better than the back of our hands, having done a couple of 24-hour endurance races here. So I very well acquainted with this track, as well as what it takes to be quick here. Last of the cars are finishing up their practice session right now, so let's go ahead. I'm going to pull up the standings if I can remember where I hid those. Oh wait, I don't have that slide set up. Folks, I made the transition off of Streamlabs over to OBS, the actual OBS, because as it turned out, Streamlabs was causing all sorts of horrendous performance problems. As you may have caught a couple of times, every now and then there were drop frames on the stream, despite my best efforts to try and turn things down while keeping them pretty. As it turns out, Streamlabs is just awful, both as a business and as a piece of software. So, OBS from here on out. But practice just finished up. Any second here, we will have the beginnings of our qualifying going. And I actually do have that window set up. So give me just 1 second. Once we've got some cars moving around the track, we will get this party going. Oh, where'd my mouse go? Almost there, folks, getting some things set up. I gotta work out some kinks now that we are no longer on Streamlabs OBS. Messed up all sorts of things. There we go. There are the car noises. There's the stream. Got Tim Wilkins on the cameras right now, and you'll notice we've got a little bit different of a UI going on here. Big thanks to ACC TV. I've been using this broadcasting app for some time now. Just kind of using it to help navigate, have a little bit better control of the cameras. And as it turns out, they've got a full-blown UI that you can integrate into OBS, and it is rock solid. We're going to see some cool stuff going on here. I can do things like change what information is displayed over there on the side. So like right now, let's see, what are we looking at? Let's get their delta to their best lap pulled up here. And we can pull up, ooh, but wait a second, we can also pull up the gaps between cars that are out on the track, so we can do all sorts of fun stuff in here, but we're going to leave it on best delta. Once our drivers start setting their laps, we got Tim Wilkins on camera. Let's see who is that right behind him. It's going to be Liam McNeil in the McLaren, and we've got one of our ARC boys right behind him. That's going to be Joshua Kimball. And the ARC Mods Ferrari getting ready to start his lap. Taking a look over at the stream since I changed so many things, and it doesn't look terrible. No drop frames. Things looking nice. Joshua Kimball getting his moment in the spotlight. Let's go ahead and hop back up to Tim Wilkins, who's getting ready to come into turn 2 here. Let's see how he does coming up the hill into Barbecue. Right on the brakes, misses the apex just a little bit, but able to get the power back down coming around that corner. A nice stretch. Look at those two McLarens charging their way up into Sunset. And we can see we've got sector timings for the drivers now. Not sure what those numbers mean yet. Right now it looks like Felix Palin currently on track to have the fastest lap right now, but that doesn't really mean anything because we're just one lap into quali. Chat, how we doing? How's your weekend going? It's Saturday night. We're here to watch some race cars. And, you know, actually, you may have noticed we weren't streaming last week. It's because I got an opportunity to go visit some of our friends from the league and go and actually watch some real-world motorsport, see some of these cars in real life down at Laguna Seca. There was an IMSA race weekend. Had an absolute blast. Got Black Ghost 187 in the chat saying, I wish I was racing this last race. Any reason why you couldn't? Just a little scheduling conflict. Certainly would have loved to have had you. This is Lloyd. Yep, you will be missed, good sir, but we'll have plenty for you to watch from where you're at. Whoop. Oh, what did I do? That made OBS unhappy. Timmy Wilkins setting the first lap. There we go. We're going to see just how quickly that's stuck. Liam McNeil comes in right after him, and we'll see. Yep, we've got those new fastest lap pop-ups. Let's go ahead. Felix Palin in the Audi going to be the fastest lap so far in the coming around turn 2 there up into barbecue. CPU cooler died, so I've got a funny story for you. About 20 minutes ago, my GPU was in about 3 different pieces. When I was getting ready to start getting all my stream stuff put together, I noticed that my computer was making a little bit more noise than it ordinarily does. And so, being the inquisitive computer owner that I am, decided to take a look at it, and 2 of the fans to my GPU had completely failed. Now, I kind of knew that they were on their way out, because it was getting kind of noisy and a little rattly, and I had the foresight to order replacement fans about 2 weeks ago, and my God, was I glad that I got my hands on those, because sure enough, 2 of my GPU fans died about a half hour before the stream. All right, let's take a look over at Felix here. Not settling with just having the fastest laps, got to go out there and do a little bit better. You can see he is continuing to whittle away at that delta over on the left-hand side of your screen. Now 3/10 up and loses it all in the corner. And that's going to be his wishes for best time there dashed. Still, very remarkable lap. You can see he's got 2 purple sectors down there. Is not going to slow down anytime soon. I think he is still going to sneak in with the technical fastest lap there. Sure enough, he does. Brings it in, shaving off a couple hundredths of a second from his lap time. Right now, Alan Zhu getting ready to set a very good lap. 1.3 seconds up in the delta. There we go. Going to move him up from 6th into 4th place. I'm sure he'll be happy with that. Thomas Baker also on a fairly good lap. Coming around the final corner right here. Ingwe, half a second up. See how long he's able to hang on to that. Nova plays games rating with a party of 40. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Apollo Racing Club. Could not have joined at a better time. We are about halfway through our qualifying session of the season finale of our spring season here at Kyalami. 25 cars on the track right now. How's everybody doing? My name is Matt. I'm going to be commentating for you this evening. Very happy to have all of you. Of course, I wouldn't be doing my job for the league if I didn't, recommend. Go ahead, hit that follow button. Would love to see the numbers pump up. Reminds the organizers that the people like what we're doing here. But what were you guys doing? I don't see a whole lot of light up my chat. Give me something pretty to look at that isn't a race car. How are we doing, everybody? Welcome. Go ahead and take a look over at Patrick here in the Porsche. On pace to set the fastest lap here. 2/10 up in the delta coming around the S's. Up the hill into the hairpin. Loses a little bit of time there. Let's see if he's able to get the power down in time, and he sure does as we watch that delta start shaving away coming down the hill. Into the crocodiles here. And then we'll see how aggressive he's going to be. He's doing a remarkable time up until that corner. Loses 3/10 on the exit there. He's going to have to really send it over Cheetah if he's going to get some of that time back. Does not look like it's going to happen this lap. Just a little bit further back in the track, Chuck Ho in the Ferrari here, doing his best to try and set a good lap time. Right now, 4/10 up in the delta. That purple outline is telling us that he is on pace to set the fastest lap of the qualifying session so far. Keeping things nice and tidy, but losing a bit of time. I think he's gonna be able to hang on to that Max Hunton lap now, gunning for fastest lap of the session. gonna go ahead and take a look over at Max Something Lap. Looks like he's coming. Where is he at? Can't tell from that camera shot. Ah, there we are. Coming around barbecue. Or getting ready to, I think. Where am I? Hello? Oh, it's Clubhouse. Camera angle really didn't help me. And then up into the hairpin. Using all of the track there, getting a nice wide line. Not sure if that's going to help his delta too much. Not able to get as much power down as he wanted coming down that hill. Going to come around Mineshaft, though, keeping things nice and composed. Didn't hear him lift off the throttle. Able to get real outside there, though. Not sure where all that grip came, but he is doing an excellent job through Crocodiles. See if he can hang on to that power. Nice little kiss of the death curve there in Cheetah, now into Ingwe. It does look like we're going to have a new session fastest lap there. Gets the power down and is going to hang on to that delta to the end of the lap. Max Something Lap, new pole sitter. And any second now, we are going to have our pro splits leaving the pit lane to start their half of this qualifying session. For those of you out in chat that are listening, because I had to change a whole bunch of my stream settings, how are the audio levels? How do I sound? Can you guys hear the cars all right? What's the balance like? Perfect. And hopefully you can still hear everything just fine. It'd be awful embarrassing if I'd been talking to the void, although I would trust that you guys would have told me by now if you heard nothing going on. Alan Zhu on quite the ripper of a lap, 8/10 of an improvement coming around the hairpin, now down into Mineshaft. We'll see how well he's able to hang on to it. Crocodile's been giving people trouble today at qualifying. That's where we're seeing most of the losses come from. Let's see how he does here. Oh, he loses 2/10, but he gets it right back, so it looks like just a 10th loss there. Let's see how he does coming around Cheetah. Good kiss of the death curve there, hangs onto the delta into Ingwe. Finding a little bit more time, but not getting the power down. No, he does get it. He's able to get the power down. That's going to be 8/10 improvement, moving himself from 8th place up into, or 6th place, and doesn't post any improvement. Never mind, there was quite the gap there. Either that or it invalidated somewhere and we just missed it. But we've got our pros out on the track now. You like the new graphics? I'm glad. They're going to continue to improve. Next season, I got a lot of real exciting stuff coming down the pipe. We're gonna have quite the stream next season. And to those of you who might be in chat that I've shared those changes with, let's keep them under wraps. We gotta surprise everybody. Give them a reason to be excited about next season. But big congratulations to Max Something Lap with the right now the podium position, sitting in first place. I can't talk, my goodness. But grabbing provisional pole for the AM qualifying session. We'll see what the pros have to say about it. Right now, Jeff Spangler on the cameras. Trying to find who is out in front of the pros. It may be the number 15 car of Andrew Jaski. When does the next season start? So it has not been announced yet. Ordinarily, though, they're about 3 weeks after the season finale of the prior season. So typically we have a couple of weekends just to give the drivers their weekends back. And then, yeah, it'll be announced in the Discord. So there's your reminder. If you're not already, you know, we do have a public Discord where everything is announced. Go ahead and type that in for you. Go ahead and join up with us over there at Apollo Racing Club. You'll get all of the announcements there. Does look like Andrew Jaski is going to be the first of our pros with Jeff Spangler close in tow. Coming up into Cheetah right now. Nice little kiss of the death curve. Gets a little bit wide there. Not quite as wide as Jeff Spangler there in the background. Kicking up a little bit of the gravel. He's going to have to take another run at that lap if it's going to be valid. But let's see what the first of our pro time is going to look like here from Andrew Jaski. Gonna be a 144.1. Gonna put him in, and there goes Fred Forsberg. My co-commentator turned alien race car driver. Quite the driver there in that Honda. I'm sure he's happy to be in it. Mike Jones in the other Honda on the field also sets a very, very good time, followed by Tommy Kogan in the GTR here. Ooh, and we got Jonathan Seville here, setting a new fastest lap, 140.7, 1/10 faster than Fred Forsberg. I'm sure Fred is going to have something to say about that here in a couple of laps. Got a couple more pro times coming across the line. Got Ice Tin in 7th place, now 8th place, after an improved lap by Spencer Brown with a 142.4. Tommy Kogan now in 5th, down in 5th place. And Jonathan in the McLaren, not settling for just having fastest lap. Got to find some more time in there somewhere. Right now, 4/100ths of a second up. Is going to be fighting for every little inch he can get. Actually, we got a couple of cars getting pretty close to one another. Andrew Jaski and Jeff Spangler. If we can get more than one car on the camera, we're going to. So let's go ahead and watch these two. Nice Ingwe there from Andrew Jaski out in front, followed by Jeff Spangler. Let's see what that lap time looks like coming across the line. It's going to be almost a 1 second improvement, moving him up into 3rd place. Certainly going to be happy with that. Now he's going to be chasing down the tail of Andrew Jaski. Let's see how these two behave during qualifying. Not finding too much time, but did get around the slower traffic of Andrew Jaski there in the BMW. Miles Dixon comes across the line with a new 3rd place time, 141.0 is going to be the time to beat. Go ahead and take a look at all the drivers' personal bests just to give you an idea of what the field's times are looking like over there. Go ahead and put it back on their deltas here. Fred Forsberg out there pushing for the lead, comes around the S's, now up into the hairpin here. Currently 2/10 in the delta, almost 3 now, finds it in the hairpin. Will he be able to get it glued back down on the way down into mineshaft? Looks like he's going to bleed away just a little bit, not too much though. Going to hang on to that 2/10, almost 3/10 lead. It's a little hairy there, really getting every ounce of performance out of that Honda that he can. Coming around crocodiles here. Does manage to lose just a little bit of time. Andrew Jaski thinks better, getting in his way. Excellent cheetah there, just a little bit of a kiss of that death curve now into Ingwe here. Can he get the power back down? There it goes, 3/10 of a lead, and he is going to secure the session best time. That's gonna be a 140.57 from Fred Forsberg, and that is gonna be a difficult time to beat. Jonathan has some work cut out for him to find that extra 2/10 in the lap time. Nova Plays Games. Hi guys, sorry I didn't say anything. I was waiting for the chat timer to allow me to talk. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's the Twitch TV doing its silly things, but hello, thank you so much for the raid. It is greatly appreciated, and you could not have picked a better night. It is our, I don't know how much of it you caught or if you were stuck in an ad break, but it is the season finale of our spring season here at Apollo Racing Club. 25 cars here, 24 cars, excuse me, here at Kyalami. And it has been an exciting qualifying session so far. I'm gonna go ahead and hop over to Mike Jones in the NSX over here. 2/10 in the Delta, looking for an improvement here. Would be enough for a position gain if he can hang on to it. Coming up into Sunset here. But Nova, what were you doing? Where you come from? Tell me a little bit about your stream. Not familiar with you. Were you doing a little Assetto Corsa yourself, or just perusing the category? Mike Jones doing a good job of finding every little bit of time that he can. Not sure why his Sector 1 time isn't popping up. I don't know if it hasn't been doing that the whole time. But 2/10 in the Delta from Mike Jones now. There's a good crocodiles there. We've been seeing drivers struggle with that all day. Now into Cheetah. A little bit of a cautious line there. Now not looking to post a position improvement coming around Ingwe. But still a lap time improvement, if just barely. Nope, loses it on the exit there. Has to let off so as to keep the car on the track. Let's take a look over at Andre Alfonso. Coming around the hairpin now, down the hill into Mineshaft. I haven't raced on this track in so long now that you have to think of it. Well, hopefully I can do my best to try and help you navigate the track. Sometimes the camera angles aren't the most helpful. A little bit wide on the outside there for Alfonso. Let's see how he does coming through Cheetah. Keeps it, ooh, that's gonna be close. Don't know if that's an invalidation there, but definitely loses some time that he could not afford. But still going to post a 3/10 improvement. Actually, that's gonna be 2 positions gained. Really using every inch of the track there. Stewart's definitely let him get away with some stuff they wouldn't let me get away with, but a 142.0 for Alfonso to move him up into 6th place. Let's take a look over at Mike Jones now with a half-second improvement in the Delta. Coming up into the hairpin here. Yeah, Kyalami, I was saying a little bit earlier, is a special track for me. I've done a couple of 24-hour, actually I've done 3 24-hour races in my sim racing career, and 2 of them have been here. Yeah, and Spud's actually doing my job there for me, as he was one of my co-drivers. Were you on the Suzuka team? I can't remember. I don't think you were. Mike Jones hanging on to almost a half-second improvement here. Loses a little bit of it coming around Ingwe, but still able to get the power down in time to hang on to 3/10 worth of it. That may be enough for a position. Almost. Still needed a couple more hundredths of a second there, but a 141.1 puts him within striking distance of Jeff Spangler right in front of him. Let's go ahead and take a look at the... Oops, let's get us over to somebody who's on track here. Let's take a look at Alfonso. Actually, we're going to take a look at Roadside Cookie in the Lamborghini here. Let's take a look at the personal best times here just so we can get an idea of what the gaps are looking like. Oh, that's right. You did the 23-hour, 50 minutes of Kyalami. Okay, the one I crew chiefed for. Gotcha. Roadside Cookie on a ripper of a lap coming around Cheetah. I think that is going to give him just enough time, maybe. Or does he just miss out? I can't tell. Let's see. He's in 10th place right now. 7/10 improvement is going to be massive for him if it counts. It does not. And that is going to be our qualifying session over here as soon as he teleports back to the pits. Well, let's take a look at those timetables here. An excellent lap time from Fred Forsberg. Jonathan Sindeville, keeping him honest, though, does snag the purple middle sector from him. And it's not going to let me drive, so let's just go ahead and keep looking at our top 10 here. See, M. Dixon, another. So we've got 2 Hondas up in the top 3. 3 of them in the top 5. So Honda's looking pretty good here at Kyalami today. Lost it on the final lap. You hate to see it. Let's look at the AM split right now. Max Hunton lap, no surprise there, is going to be locking down first position. Definitely going to be getting himself a pro license by the end of the season. Patrick Zekshin. Man, I'm going to butcher that. If you end up watching this, Patrick, please DM me. And I extend this invitation to everybody. Get a hold of me, at me in Gen Chat. Embarrass me until I get your name right, please. Felix here in 3rd place in the AM split. Chuck Ho in 4th, and Jeff Fleischman to round out the top 5 here. See if it'll let me... nope, it's not going to let me press drive, so we can do our somewhat... Oh, come on, Assetto Corsa. What are you doing to me? Why can't I hit drive? Shameful. Well, I don't know what to do here. Well, that's problematic. So let's enjoy the splits just a little bit more. Let's talk about some predictions here. How we feeling? How we feeling about the grid right now? We've got some real strong contenders in the top 5. Splits not that much dividing the top 5, just a half second between 1st and 5th. The rest of the grid looks pretty evenly spaced, although there is some time gap between all of them, so that does leave a little bit of wiggle room for racing once we get there. Hope for a better race. Yeah, we always will. I'm gonna pray for top 10. That's solid finishing hopes. That is definitely in the cards today. Risky setup. Sometimes you just gotta send it. I would really love it if it would let me press drive here so we can take a look at the cars here. Yeah, no, I do remember that one. Come on, let me hit drive it. I know it'll let me do it at 30 seconds. I'm not sure. It's never done this to me as a spectator. This is interesting.
30 seconds.
There we go. All right, we've got control of our camera again. Let's take a quick look up the grid here. Take a look at our liveries. One last second to do so before they start moving. Again, we do allow fully custom liveries here at Apollo Racing Club. So the majority of the drivers have opted to do that. Make themselves look nice and pretty here. Beautiful sunny day in South Africa here at Kyalami Racing Circuit. And a good luck to all of our drivers. All right, in just any second here, we will begin our parade lap. We're going to go ahead and switch over to race gaps here. And the cars are going to start making their way around the track. Fred Forsberg going to be leading us off, followed by Jonathan Seville in second, Miles Dixon going to be our podium finishers here. Cheering for my ORC teammate, number 20, Car Palin. Currently sitting in P16 in the number 20 Audi. All right, here's a fun question I like to ask the chat when you guys are out there driving. Go Felix, Team ORC. Yeah, and I see you guys representing in the chat. Love to see your guys' teams showing up. Definitely do what I can to get some camera action of Felix during the race. But here's a fun little poll for the chat. Are you guys, when we were trying to warm up tires, would you rather ride the brakes, or are you one of the squiggly boys? Like we saw just a little bit ago, we've seen that Audi in the back weaving just a little bit, trying to get as much heat into those tires as they can. I'm personally a ride the brakes guy. I'd rather fuel up just a little bit, especially in these 1 hour race. You really don't have to worry about brake life all too much. Ride the brakes, yep, I'm the same way. Seems to be the best, the most heat for your buck, in my opinion. Especially I race GT4s the most, so you start cold, and I've noticed that gets them warmed up pretty quick. Ride the brakes and wiggle. ORC Speedy Jab, a madman. Going for the 2 strats at the same time. Seems like a lot to focus on. Take one of the last opportunities I'm going to have here to take a big swig of water. That is the good stuff, folks. $50 viewers in the chat. How's everybody doing? It's good to have you here. We're just getting ready to kick off our final race of the season. Cars are going to start lining up just double file now. Be nice into T1. You know I've learned better with this group. The last time I bet them there wouldn't be a clean T1 was at Spa. I bet the chat 20 subs that they were not going to be able to get up a Rouge without a collision or a yellow flag. And by God, they did it. That was the day I lost $50 because I bet chat. They've been real good ever since we updated the rules to be a little harsher on lap 1 T1 penalties. But that's going to do it from me. Thank you, everybody who's watched up to this point. We're about to get this race underway as we round the final corner of our parade lap. Let's go ahead and hop to the helicopter camera, get the best shot of the action as we can. Good luck to all the drivers, and any second now, we are going to have the green flag to finish this season out. And there we go. There's the green lights are going to light up, and it looks like a bad start for Fred Fosberg. Jonathan Seville getting the jump on him. Not sure what happened there, but both are going to take the inside line here, hop down to the TV cams. Look at all of those cars charging down into turn one. We'll try and keep them all on camera for as long as we can. Oh no, there's already some drama. That looks like Fred Forsberg stopped on the outside there. Not sure what happened. But Jonathan Seville is going to be able to get away with it, what looks like his teammate there, Mike Dixon. And that is a rough start for the first place qualifier. Got a little jumped on the start-finish line and then shunted out to the outside of T1. But right now, let's go ahead and see what the helicams see. And we still have a pretty tightly packed grid. Nonetheless, cars spaced out single file. This looks like a mostly clean start here for our drivers. Looks like we've got, it looks like Jeff Fleischman trying up the inside there, and Barbecue is able to squeeze out that Audi of Felix Painlet. There is going to be some blinkers there as they stay inches to one another, trying to get around that corner. That is going to be the Ferrari of Jeff Fleischman. Oh, we've got another, that looks like Craig Bray over there on the outside there. Not a good spot to go slow. It looks like we had another car shunted off the outside there. Here's Fred Forsberg on the camera, making his way up into the pack here, fighting his way back through. But let's take a look at the front of the pack here. Jonathan Seville coming around the crocodiles. Man, I've got hiccups at the worst time. Excuse me, folks. But it looks like we've got, that's going to be our front pack there. And there comes the rear pack coming around. Crocodiles now into Cheetah, but let's take a look at Jonathan Seville. The first lap of this race already over. Looking like it's going to be a pretty good lap time. Let's see what that looks like for him. It's going to be a 1:47, going to be the time to beat. Of course, that includes the rolling start, so we're only going to get faster from here. Looks like most of the drivers keeping things nice and calm coming around. Oh, we've actually got a yellow flag here. Let's see, that's going to be the car of Craig Bray, trying to get the cameras over on him. Not sure why it's yellow flagging or cautioning him. That needs to go away any second. There it goes. Fred Forsberg continuing to make up some positions in turn one there. If you look over on the side, those animations will actually show you when people are gaining positions now. Looks like slid out just a little bit too speed. Couldn't tell if Forsberg got punted or slid out. Looks like slid out just a bit too much speed. He was kind of in a bit of a race with Jonathan Seville there after not getting the best start. Roadside Cookie under pressure, moves his way up into 4th place. Where did he start? Positions gained. So that's a 6 places gained for Roadside Cookie, starting the race in 10th place. Now having to fend off Mike Jones. Oh, that's the wrong onboard camera. That's the one we were trying to look at. The rear wing here as we come up into the hairpin. Mike Jones not going to be pushing him too hard, it doesn't look like. Right now, Roadside Cookie with a purple Sector 1. Sure he feels good about that. Alfonso chasing down Tommy Kogan. And actually, we've got some more action down here with Fred Forsberg still working his way up the pack. Unintentionally doing a little bit of a last to first challenge, but if anybody's going to be able to pull it off, he is one of the ones I have the most confidence here on this track. Coming up into the Crocodiles here. Looks like he's going to get Dylan. Is that Dylan Kaiser on the inside there in the BMW? Looks like Jeff Fleischman's next on the menu. And it looks like 1:41.0 is going to be the new time to beat. Fred Forsberg looks up the inside of Ingwe, thinks better of it. Jeff Fleischman not quite giving him enough room guarding that apex, but it does look like he's going to get the position now racing down the front straight. Chuck Ho at the back of this little pack of 3, currently battling it out for 11th, not far off for a battle for 10th place here with Andrew Jaski, just far enough ahead of that pack to stay out of contention here. Spin outs at Crocodiles. Did I miss something? Glad the chat saw it, I sure didn't. Fred Forsberg going to go for the pass on the inside. That's going to be Felix Painlet in the Audi there, yielding the position to the faster driver. Smart, prevent the two of you from losing too much time. Now under a little bit of pressure, though. Now Jeff Fleischman sliding that Ferrari around the corner there, almost loses the back end there, and that is going to give the gap to the Audi, or that the Audi was looking for, now coming up into the hairpin. Nice charge down into mine shaft here. Looks like it's gonna be a good crocodile here. Into Cheetah, gives himself a nice wide berth from the death corner, and you can see Fred Forsberg there out in the gravel trap. Take a look at our timing here. Most of the field speeding up still. Definitely happy to see that. How about a little position delta? We're gonna play with all the eye candy today, folks. This is the positions gained by each of the drivers. You see Fred Forsberg, poor man, down 13 positions. Got quite a bit of work to do if he's gonna make that back up. Let's get it back over on gaps here. Take a look over at Tommy Kogan right now, trying to chase down Afonso in 5th place. We've got a battle for 5th right now between 4 cars. That's going to be Afonso in front, Tommy Kogan, Roadside Cookie, Michael Randall, and it does look like Max Sunton laps at the end of that pack. Ooh, and we might have a little bit of a too wide up here into the hairpin. Let's see what the Porsche thinks of it. Might try the outside line, late on the brakes, but is not going to be able to get it. Doesn't look like he got the power down soon enough. We've got Patrick Jackson losing some position, spun around there. So you can't see what corner that's at. That's in the S's. So lost the back end in the S's. Not a great spot to spin a Porsche, but gets it back around. It's like without any other further collisions. New fastest lap out of Jonathan Seville, finds a couple more hundredths of a second there to shave off of lap time. It'll be 1:41.02 now being the time to beat. Fred Forsberg looks like going for a pass there on ice 10. This might get interesting down into turn 1. We'll see if ice 10's going to yield the position. Does look like Fred has the better line, that he's going to come up into the rear bumper of Andrew Jaski here any second. Andrew Jaski before the race was saying looking for a top 10 finish, right now in P11. 4 positions gained for the BMW driver here. Keep an eye on these two just a little bit longer there. Fred a little bit on the inside. Let's take a look here, see just how close these two are getting up into these next couple of corners. We know Fred is going to be pushing. We are watching the rear wing of Andrew Jaski. There he goes on the inside. That inside line is going to belong to that Honda. The BMW may or may not have been a willing participant in that pass there, but it is going to be a successful pass for Fred Forsberg on the inside. 1 more position gained, 1 closer to his first place finish dreams. Appreciate the call out in the Apollo chat there, Spud. Need every little bit of help I can get. All right, let's see here. Does look like the battle for 6th is, well, it was what was a battle for 5th. Does look like Afonso doing a good job of growing a bit of a gap to the pack, leaving the thinking to be done for Roadside Cookie, who is having to put on a bit of a defense there. Tommy Kogan in the GTR behind him, definitely keeping the pressure on. Michael Randall also, not to be forgotten there, hanging tight with those two. Just enough space there where he's probably not too worried about rear-ending somebody, but definitely putting the pressure on Tommy Kogan. Keeping things nice and tight down into the S's. Definitely leaving a little bit more room for each other here. Ooh, and that's going to be, looks like Afonso running a bit wide there. Good thing he grew that gap. He's not going to let those cars catch up to him. Ooh, that said, though, maybe not the best hairpin for him either now, as we see Roadside Cookie right on the rear bumper there. If ever there was a time to look at this camera, now is the time. Looks like Roadside Cookie going to look up the outside for Crocodile. Not going to have the room to make it happen. And it has turned into a battle for 5th again. Yeah, let's take a look at Craig's car here once we get around Ingwe. Fred Forsberg gains another position off camera there. Although it does look like Spencer Brown, ooh, may have had a bad cheetah there. Not sure what happened. But yeah, that is going to be, oh, still waiting for their opportunity to get back out on the track. Definitely a feels bad man moment there for Spencer Brown. Well, yeah, let's take a look at Craig Bray's car here. Doesn't look to be too damaged from where we're looking right now. In fact, it looks okay. Maybe just a little dicey setup. You never know. Could have made a last-second change. Might have messed up the balance of the car. That Ferrari is twitchy, as anybody who's driven it can attest. This battle for 5th is getting a little spicy here. We've got 2 more cars catching up to the pack. One of them is going to be Fred Forsberg. Or Durfson, if you watch the Snetterton race. Man, that BMW has got to start putting the pedal down to the metal. Roadside Cookie really not looking to play nice here, getting very, very close to the rear bumper of that BMW, certainly telling him, I am faster, get out of my way. It's going to be any second now until we start seeing the blinkers. He's going to have the draft down the straight, though. We'll see what he does with it coming into turn 1. Oh, it is going to be very close. He's going to jump for the inside there. That was quite the lurch, though. Might lose a little bit of time as a result of it, but does have the inside line coming around turn 1. Is going to have the outside to try and get the power down up into Barbecue. But they are going to stay in that order, single file, for another couple turns here. Let's see, that's going to be the Honda of Mike Jones out in front of us. All right, now this is the battle to watch, folks. Looking around the field, there are a couple other tight packs, but this one's got the most cars in it, so these guys are going to be on camera for a little bit. And we can see that Porsche really getting close to the rear bumper of the GTR there. Hit the curb, too much rear end went into the wall. Yeah, that is why they call it the death curb. Sorry to hear that, my friend. Not a whole lot you can do about that. Definitely a rough one to have in the final race of the season. But thank you for joining us here up in the stands. We'll get to watch the rest of the race together. As we are currently watching the battle for 5th here, that's going to be Roadside Cookie trying to chase down the BMW of Andrea Afonso. Fred Forsberg gains another position, and Jonathan Seville finds another 10th in the lap time. Oh, and that's going to be a rough cheetah there. He's real fortunate not to end up like Spencer there and kiss the wall of death, but going to lose a couple of positions in the fallout. Roadside Cookie, I'm sure, is going to be relieved to see that happen. But now the BMW of Afonso has got a bit of a drag race between him, a Porsche, and Fred Forsberg. We'll see what happens when they get to the end of the road here. Yep, we will certainly be keeping an eye on them, Spencer, for sure. Which right now, let's see, Dylan Kaiser currently sitting P16. With a little bit of company, actually. Let's go ahead and take a look over there. Looks like chasing down the Audi of Felix Palin. Rocking the Relentless Motorsports BMW livery. I've been a big fan of it all season. Let's go ahead and look back here at Afonso. It does look like the battle for 5th does seem to have gotten some spacing here. Looks like we just missed a pass by Joshua Kimball there. Looks like, yep, passing the McLaren there of Thomas Baker, moving himself up into P19. Looks like the drivers are mostly spread out at this point here. Not a lot of real tight packs here. Let's take a look at the number 26 car. It's going to be Jeff Fleischman. White flag for Afonso. Not sure what's up with that. A whole bunch of caution flags. Not sure why it's throwing those. I'm going to have to get that tuned out a little bit. Certainly no accidents there. I think they're just real close to one another. Fred Forsberg gains another position on Tommy Kogan there. Now up into P6. Excuse me, 7, as Tommy Kogan gets him on the outside there. Let's go ahead and take a look back at Felix here. Fighting pretty hard to try and get around one of the Apollo Racing Club mods here. That's going to be Jeff Fleischman out in front of him. Very close between these two coming around turn 3, or excuse me, barbecue there. Coming up into Sunset here. That Ferrari has just got too much straight line speed for the Audi to try and get around him in such a short straight there. We'll see what he's able to do with it. Pretty good clubhouse for both of them. That's going to be Dylan Kaiser in the BMW just behind. A little bit of a gap growing here. Let's see what they do coming up into the hairpin. Really under pressure from that BMW now. But they are catching up to the pack out in front of them. This may actually turn into a battle for 10th. Really chucking it down the mine shaft there. See how they do on Crocodiles. Ooh, a little bit of the tire on the dirt. Not sure what happened there, but Dylan Kaiser going to get spun around and nose first into the wall. That's going to be Jan Stam getting around him there. Ooh, not sure what happened, but a big collision there. Although the car does look okay, and anybody who's driven the BMW knows it's not super reliant on that front aero. But that was a big hit. We'll be keeping an eye on Dylan's lap times in the near future here. And that does mean now it is just a 2-car battle for 14th between Felix Palant and Jeff Fleischman. Now without the pressure from behind, the Audi can focus on just catching the car up front. We got to hop over here right now. Jeff Spangler and Mike Jones very close to one another coming down mine shaft. Ooh, and that is going to be overcooked just a little bit. From Jeff Spangler is going to get on the brakes and let Mike Jones pass incident free. But does manage to stay out in front in through Cheetah. And that race is going to continue on. We'll hop back over to that previous battle if it gets pretty close here. Right as I say that, I watched the Delta shrink an awful lot. But close battles everywhere. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Fred Forsberg here, looking to take another position back. Looks like he's got a little front aero damage. I can't really tell with that livery. Take a look at the battle between Andrew Jaski and Chuck Ho here. Again, reminder, Andrew Jaski looking for a top 10 finish today. Currently down a position. but it's definitely still within striking distance. 40 minutes into, or 20 minutes into this race, excuse me. Any second now, we will be starting our pit cycle here. And actually, excuse me, I think yep, forgot to do that. So there we go. There's our mandatory pit stops. Felix Pallant putting the pressure back on Jeff Fleischman again. These two drivers been at it now for a couple of laps.
Pit window is opening.
Pit window is going to open now. Oh man, Fred Fosberg and Tommy Kogan really duking it out. I just watched them change positions about 3 times off camera there. I'm sure you saw it over on the left-hand side of your screen there, folks. But that is going to be the position gain for Fred Forsberg. Now up into P6. And just behind him, Tommy Kogan and Michael Randall fighting pretty hard between the two of them. You saw there the GTR dips his toes out in the mud just a little bit, but able to keep the car under control. Let's take a look here up at the battle between Mike Jones and Jeff Spangler. They are still duking it out, folks. Very, very close between these two. God, that Lexus sounds fantastic. Can confirm, sounds like a monster in real life, too. Which, man, let me, if none of you, if any of you guys are watching this, and you are motorsports enthusiasts like myself, go watch a race in person. My goodness, it is a life-changing experience. Especially if you can get lucky and catch like an IMSA race weekend or an SRO race weekend, when you get the big boys out there on the track. Man, I thought our drivers were crazy. Looks like this battle's going to continue to rage on in this order for another lap here, coming up to the final corner. You can tell that Honda's getting just a little impatient there. He's going to try for the early acceleration there. Takes a nice wide line there to get the power down. Certainly going to be able to do it. Oh man, Jeff Fleischman blocking the pass a little bit there. Not sure if that was on purpose, considering how in tandem that was. But now it's going to be a drag race here. I think he was just trying to get over so he could have the inside line into turn 1, which would make the most sense because it's going to be the most defensible line there. Honda on the outside there. Carried a lot of speed through that corner, but not enough to get him out in front of the Lexus. At Laguna is amazing. I don't know if you caught it, but that's actually where I was last week. So we didn't stream last week because I took a little bit of a vacation and got to go watch some big boy races. Take a look back here at Felix Pallant. It does look like there was a bit of a gap between these two for a little bit. Audi driver has managed to close it up a little bit coming around barbecue. Still chasing down Chuck Ho and Andrew Jaski out in front. Might be a little bit until they're giving them company. We can see Jan Stam out there in the back. Dylan Kaiser is going to go ahead and serve that pit stop early. We did just miss it. Looks like a pretty clean pit. 42 seconds, so it's about like 12 seconds of damage there from that collision. New fastest lap, even still. Jonathan Seville. Haven't been seeing an awful lot of Jonathan on the cameras today because there's really not all that much going on around him. I'm sure soon enough here we'll be seeing him catch up to some blue flag traffic, but Jonathan doing an excellent job of putting down some very consistent and very fast lap times here. Does look like Mike Jones is into the pits now. Tommy Kogan and Michael Randall still duking it out right now, trying to decide who's going to be in 6th place. Felix Pallant and Jeff Fleischman still very close as well. Bit of a drag race down the front straight here. He's going to be very close into turn one. We'll see who gets on the brakes later. It does look like the Ferrari goes for the last brakes. That inside line, though, is going to be very, very good for him. We've got a yellow flag on the in lap there. Maybe just cut it a little bit wide, but that's all right. Where were we? Here we are. Surprisingly, Spec Miata and Spec E30 there is so good. I have zero doubt. What was crazy, I mean, honestly, you could put any mixed class or a single class race on that track, and it's going to be exciting just because it's a small track with a lot of crazy corners. I'm sure I don't have to explain how nuts the corkscrew is if you've ever been there in person. Now that I've been there and popped my corkscrew cherry, man, that is something else. Adds a whole new respect for that corner in game. But yeah, I can't imagine anything there would be unfun to watch. When we were there, it was multi-class, so it was GTD, LMP2 and 3, and the Porsche Cup cars, which was quite the mixed field, if I'm going to be honest, but it was exciting from beginning to end. All right, Felix Palent going to put it into the pits, try and go for the undercut on Jeff Fleischman. Maybe Jeff was holding him up just enough to where it makes sense to get that pit stop out of the way now. Andre Alfonso chasing down Max Sunken lap in 7th place. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. I had my scroll bar. I had the wrong thing highlighted when I was scrolling. What good battles from Javier in the chat. Honestly, this has been nuts from beginning to end there. You can see just how impatient these BMWs are getting with one another. Alfonso really weaving on the outside. Not sure if he's just trying to get the attention of Max Sunkenlab up in front. Got a couple of other pretty good battles still between Tommy Kogan and Michael Randall up in front. Not quite as close as these two at the moment. Coming up into Cheetah there. Both BMWs do a good job of getting over that. Relatively drama-free. A bit of an exploration there from Afonso out into the dirt, but keeps the car under control. The red-green messes with people who are colorblind like me. I didn't think about that, actually. That's a good thing for me to think about. I'll see if I can come up with something creative for that. Looks like Craig Bray going to head into the pits now. Yellow flag from Chuck Ho. Ooh, not sure what happened. We're looking at sunset there. Maybe just overcooked it a little too much and must have put it out into the wall there. Ooh, and that is a messed up Ferrari. Fortunately for Chuck, still has, oh my God, the back of it too. Good Lord. Man, if you're gonna do it right, I guess. And yeah, Jones pretty much has it in the back there. Hold. All right, this does look like this little battle we've been watching may be about to turn into a battle for 5th. Excuse me, not 5th. What am I talking about? 6th. Or wait, no, that's a lapped car in front of them. That's why I was wrong. Got plenty of people now diving into the pits. Fred Forsberg is going to be in there. He's going to be one of our faster drivers there, maybe trying to get himself into some clear air and have a chance of trying to catch up to first place there.
We are halfway through, not over yet.
There's the halfway call out from race control. 30 minutes into this race, 29 minutes, 52 seconds remaining. Actually, we have some excitement showing up just behind us here on the cameras. There's going to be Ice Tin and Andrew Jaski in frame here. Neither one of them having served their pit stop yet now, going to be battling it out for it. Does look like they'd be 8th place here. I'd say if he can get around, if Jaski can get around Ice Tin here, does look very good for his top 10 finishes, or finishing hopes here. If he can get a little bit of clean air and keep pushing, we'll see what his pit strategy looks like. There's Max Sunton lapping Afonso in frame just in front of us there. It looks like Craig Bray and another behind us. Ice Tin's gonna put it into the pits. Right behind it looks like Max Sunton lap. Andrew Jaski gonna have some clean air to get out there and push, try and gain as much time as he can. A lot of people in the pits right now. We got a very crowded pit lane. Everybody in there swapping out their tires. Mike Jones coming around Cheetah. Got Joshua Kimball behind him. It looks like Joshua Kimball's going to go ahead and dive into the pits right there. Yeah, I didn't think about that, Cold. Although to be fair, I don't know that I have too much control over it, but we'll see what I can do. I'll reach out to the developers and see if they can come up with something a little bit more creative that might be a bit easier for folks who can't quite see color the same. Mike Jones really putting the pressure on Tommy Kogan now. Felix had a great undercut. Did we miss it? Oh, that's right, the undercut. Yeah, so he did pull it off, huh? Yeah, and yeah, absolutely. Jeff Fleischman, there he is, leaving the pits right behind him. You love to see it with the slightly. I can see the pit timings here, but with a better pit stop as well, with a 3-second advantage going to Felix. So yeah, there you go. There's pit stop strategy coming out in full effect here. Does gain him the position he was looking to get around there. Now Jeff Fleischman has some work to do to catch him back up. Just off frame now, we've got Mike Jones and Tommy Kogan charging down into Mineshaft there. Ooh, it's going to push the GTR off wide. That is going to be a successful pass there from Mike Jones. Another pass happening. There's going to be Jeff Spangler getting around Alan Zhu, which is a little blue, or well, yeah, I guess technically blue flag because Alan still has a pit stop to serve, but roadside cookie now. Trying on the outside there. That's going to be the Lamborghini behind there. Does manage to pass the slower cars there, relatively drama-free. Their battle's going to continue on now. I'm fairly certain that Jones does have the championship pulled, excuse me. I would take a look, but I don't have it pulled up already, and I don't want to accidentally tab out of something. Looks like Ice Tin and Tim Wilkins here fighting it out. So the McLaren of Tim Wilkins still has yet to serve the mandatory pit stop there. BMW of Ice Tin does send it up the inside there in Sunset. Now up into Clubhouse. Does look like the BMW is going to be able to stay out in front there. Newer rubber, I'm sure, is playing a factor there. Mike Jones making another pass there on Alan Zhu. And now he's going to be trying to catch up there to Roadside Cookie and Jeff Spangler for some same lap action there. Going to be a battle for 6th place when he catches up. Alan Zhu into the pits, as does Andrew Jaski. We'll be keeping an eye on where he comes back out. Has been a long pit stop now in there for 47 seconds and counting. Definitely going to want to get back out on the road here, Andrew. Come on, there we go. Now he's off the Jackson rolling. We'll see where he gets let out. And he is let back out in 11th position. Does gain a position on Tim Wilkins there in the undercut. Or I guess it would be, no, yeah, he hasn't pit stopped yet, so it would be an undercut. Now, just a little bit of work to do. That is going to be Ice Tin just out in front of him. We'll see them both on camera there. And that is his 10th place finish dream right in front of him. Got some work to do. Ice Tin's putting in a pretty good lap right now. Also up 5 positions on the day. One of our last folks here to pit is running out of time. 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the mandatory pit window here. Probably going to want to put it in now, and there it goes. It looks like Afonso also in the pits. Now just Tim Wilkins here. Final remaining car to serve the mandatory pit stop. We'll see when he chooses to do it. Just leaving the S's now up into the hairpin. Almost certainly going to put it in this lap. Which actually... depending on where Afonso and Jan Stam come out, we may actually have Andrew Jaski in the top 10 here. We're going to keep an eye on him for a second. Coming around Ingwe now. Got Afonso is out. Jan Stam's still in the pits, not let out yet. And that is going to be enough for Andrew Jaski to move up into 10th place after the pit cycle. Now just got to hang on to it for another 22 minutes. Fred Forsberg now catching up to Mike Jones here. Looking for another pass. And a reminder, everybody, started in first. Knocked all the way down, I think, to basically, as near as makes no difference, last place. Now up in 6th. Yeah, there were some great undercuts there. Honestly, excellent pit strategy by almost everybody who tried to play a strategy. Take a look at Max Sunkenlap under fire there. That's going to be Tim Wilkins on the inside. Still has a pit stop to serve. Somebody better tell that man that it's mandatory. Ooh, we can see that BMW there has to dip on the brakes a bit to not cause a collision. Roadside Cookie and Jeff Spangler still battling it out. Currently fighting to decide who's going to finish in the top 3 and who will not. Does look like just as we change the cameras there, Fred does get around Mike Jones. The man on a mission right there. But looking around the field here, things are looking pretty tame. We've got Timmy Wilkins in the pits there. A couple of people picking up positions there. Felix Palin. Ooh, actually, what happened here? Front of that Audi's seen some better days. In fact, that whole Audi's seen some better days. I didn't see a yellow flag or anything like that, but he is beat up, folks. Felix with 21 seconds of damage. Hit the wall. They happened over in Cheetah, huh? That'd be my guess. Got a yellow flag from Michael Randall there. Ooh, not sure what that's for, but getting very close to the back of that McLaren. For McLaren's seen better days. It's going to be the 325 car.
Pit window is now closed.
It's going to be Liam McNeil. But excellent pass on the outside of the hairpin there from Michael Randall, moving himself a little farther up in the grid. In some clean air, try and catch somebody who's in front of him. Jan Stam and Jeff Fleischman in contention for 13th here, coming down into Mineshaft. Two Ferraris duking it out. Now up into the Crocodiles. Had to check up, car broke away. Ah, that's too bad. That's probably one of the worst ways to have that happen. Two Ferraris racing down the front stretch here. Not going to be close enough, I think, for anything too exciting to happen between the two of them. Let's go ahead and look a little farther back up the field. We've got the battle for third place heating up a little bit with Fred Forsberg now entering into contention. Mike Jones not far behind him. Jeff Spangler definitely going to have some company here. Yellow flag for Michael Randall. Ooh, spent a little time off the track there. May have just had a rough S's there and spent some time in the gravel trap. Gets passed by a couple of cars. Porsche does look like it took a little bit of damage, but I've seen worse. And Roadside Cookie definitely putting the pressure on now. Go ahead and take a look at the inside of the car here, coming up into turn one. Does not look like he's close enough to try anything here. He's going to be enjoying the rear bumper of that Lexus for a little bit longer. You can see in the rear view mirror, that's going to be Fred Forsberg right behind him. Coming up into Barbecue, not quite close enough to try anything still, and so they're going to continue this race down the straight into Sunset. Cookie lunge incoming. I was looking for it. It was going to happen there if it was going to happen. Ooh, Fred Forsberg, though. Also going to go for the cookie lunge. We might have to hop on board with him here in just a second, too. Keeping things nice and tidy into the S's. Let's see if he tries something up into the hairpin. Looks like there's a little too much distance, but he is going to run the outside line there, cut it back in for the apex, gets the power down early. Short shifts it to keep the back end from stepping out. There's a master class in how to take the hairpin there, folks. Mike Jones getting a little bit closer to this pack of three, battling it out for third place. Pretty good cheetah for all three cars there, now down into Ingwe. Nobody seems to have the clear advantage here, if I'm being completely honest. Does look like Felix is under a little bit of pressure here. We're going to take a break from the main event up there at the front, take a look at back here. That Audi's damage definitely holding him up a little bit. He used to have quite the gap to Jeff Fleischman. Now is going to have to be hanging on by a thread, defending every inch of this track as best he can. 15 seconds of damage, I think your teammate said. 21 seconds of damage, more than enough to be slowing him down. But still putting up a fight. 15 minutes left here in South Africa, the Kyalami circuit. And this Audi is going to be fighting for dear life here, try and hang on to that 12th place finish. Right now getting a little bit of a saving grace there that those two Ferraris are so close to one another. Keeping Jeff Fleischman on his toes with Jan Stam right behind him. Hopefully keeping the pressure off the back of that Audi. But let's take a look up front here at this battle for third. Getting very, very close. I'll be keeping an eye on the splits there with Jeff Fleischman and Felix Palant. We'll click back over there if they get closer. But this battle for third is getting spicy. Fred Forsberg getting very close to Roadside Cookie there, coming around Cheetah. And Roadside Cookie, excellent driving today. Gaining 6 positions from a 10th place start, and we're going to see Fred Forsberg try and get around him. No room to make it happen. See if he tries something in turn 1. Oh, he's giving the blinker. That doesn't look like it's going to be a position yielded by Roadside Cookie there. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Good turn to make it happen, but gets the position right back. Not sure if that was a miscommunication between drivers there or just maybe a rough corner for Fred, but it does get it coming out of barbecue. Now chasing down Jeff Spangler up in third. Mike Jones and Roadside Cookie going to be in a bit of a drag race coming around Sunset. Looks like they got it sorted out before the turn there. Man, Fred really pushing. We're going to take a look at the battle between Roadside Cookie now and Mike Jones. We've got a yellow flag, Michael Randall. Not sure where that came from, but it was there. Ooh, cameraman, what you doing, homie? Caught him sleeping. Ooh, yellow flag. Not that car, we want this one. 325 car, Liam McNeil, driving the wrong way on the track. Trying to get it spun back around now. Andrew Jaski and Ice Tin very close now. Number 325 McLaren now just getting moving. Does look like Felix Palant here has grown a gap to Jeff Fleischman now, greater than 2 seconds. That damage not slowing him down enough for Jeff Fleischman to try and get in front of him. Doing an excellent job there. Nice safe line around through Cheetah. There's going to be another lap now with Jeff Fleischman behind him. Wow, cameraman not doing an excellent job of keeping the cars in frame. Andrew Jaski not settling for just top 10. Now looking at potentially an 8th place finish here, chasing down Ice Tin and the BMW out in front. Looks like a good sector 1 from him. Ooh, he's getting very close. May have to hop on board with these drivers here in just a second. We can see Ice Tin really having to fight to keep that other BMW behind him. Up into the hairpin at the top of the hill. Ooh, great inside line there from Andrew Jaski. I think that is going to be the pass. Yeah, and we caught it right there on the rear wing. All it took was a little bit late of the brakes for Ice Tin there. And that is going to be a position for Andrew Jaski, now in 8th position, with 11 minutes left in the race. Looks like the battle for third is starting to heat up now. Jeff Spangler starting to have Fred Forsberg in the rearview mirror, but more exciting, Roadside Cookie, you can see just going a little bit outside there on the barbecue, has Mike Jones looking for the pass here in Sunset. See, ooh, very, very good sunset for the Honda there. You can see how close he gets to the rear bumper of the Lamborghini out in front. And he is inching towards Roadside Cookie now. And he is definitely within striking distance coming up the hill here. And because chat's saying they like seeing him, we're going to go ahead and hop on board here coming up into the hairpin. Something's going to happen. It's going to happen here. Getting very close to that Lamborghini. Not quite enough room to try and get the pass on the inside. Thinks better of it. Now it's going to turn into a bit of a drag race now coming down Mineshaft. Up into Crocodiles. Got a little bit of traffic out in front. Actually, that is, I believe, the battle for third place in front of us, folks. That's exactly what it is. Mike Jones getting very close to the back of the Lamborghini here. Oh, and we've got a, looks like Craig Bray sideways there. Here we go, folks. Is it going to happen? Is he going to try it on the inside here coming up into T1? We're definitely going to be on board for this one. That's Tim Wilkins right in front. Really has to lunge to the inside to get around the slower traffic. Roadside Cookie going to have the inside line coming into turn one. Outside is going to be held down, but not fast enough for the pass to happen for Mike Jones. But open it back up to the TV cameras there. Very, very close between them. Does look like Jeff has found his pace and is caught back up to Felix Palant here. That gap is shrinking coming down into Ingwe. Only has to hold on for 8.5 more minutes. May be able to pull it off, but that Ferrari is very close, folks. Even with all that front aero damage, still doing a good enough job defending to where the Ferrari behind is not able to make a pass happen. Gotta wonder when it's gonna happen. Running out of time if you're Jeff Fleischman. And you only have to hold on for a little bit longer if you're Felix Palant. Fred Forsberg going for the pass there. Gets a little bit wide on the exit of Cheetah, but is now looking down the barrel at Jeff Spangler just in front of him. That's going to be Joshua Kimball in the Ferrari in front. That's going to be lap traffic out in front of me. You see the blue flag waving on the left-hand side of the screen. Ooh. And it looks like something happened off screen. We just missed it. Felix Palant is off the track. And what I think is the end of his race. Front aero damage finally catching up. We'll see if he gets moving again. Come on, switch cameras. There we go. Oh! Fred Forsberg gets on the inside of the BMW. I was holding my breath because I couldn't believe how close they were. And that is going to be a BMW spun around. A little bit of contact there has some pretty big consequences. I said BMW, I meant Lexus. Ooh, come on, get back in the groove, Jeff. You got this. But that is going to be a position gain for Fred Forsberg. That may be talked about by the stewards a little bit later. We'll see. Crash got hit by Jeff. Ah. Well, next season we'll be able to do instant replays that aren't terrible and auto-generated, so in the future, we'll have a much better ability to watch those things happen in real time. A little blue flag traffic for Fred Forsberg there. Let's go ahead and hop back. Tommy Kogan trying to chase down Jeff Fleischman. Yeah, that is an unfortunate end to what was a very heroic battle there by Felix Palant. Definitely nothing to be ashamed of there. Put on one hell of a fight all the way down to the bitter end. You love to see it. Yeah, next season is going to be nuts. While we're watching this battle with Tommy Kogan, we almost got to do a little bit of a taste of it today ahead of schedule, but next season I've been putting months and months of work into what next season is going to be looking like, and it's going to be pretty close to a professional broadcast. Kind of what we're hoping to be in contention with the big boys next season. So if you haven't already, if you've liked what you've seen so far, if you enjoy watching Saturday night races with me, definitely hit that follow button and follow us over in Discord as well so you can get announcements as to when the next season is going to start. Tommy Kogan going for the pass on the inside. Jeff Fleischman's going to try and defend it from the outside. They're going to get very close to one another, but I do believe that is going to be yielded to Tommy Kogan, but Jeff Fleischman has the inside line. He's going to be able to hang on to it now up into barbecue. I think that's a GTR in front, but late on the brakes for the Ferrari. Going to try the outside, get the power down early, maybe have a shot at catching up to him by the end of sunset here, but it does not look like it's going to happen. That's going to be a successful pass for Tommy Kogan, moving himself up into 12th place. Well, thank you very much. Very much appreciate that. You can catch me here Saturday nights. This is the season finale, however. So we are, this is going to be the last one for a little bit. We usually take a couple of week break in between. So there's going to be a couple of weekends without you lovely folks in chat, getting to watch some race cars together. But when we come back, I mean, we are coming back. It is going to be like Stream 5.0. It's not even going to be close. It's going to be so much better. I can't wait to show you guys what I've been working on. Well, I hope I am, Mr. ORC Speedy Jab. That's very nice of you. I would love to have you. An active chat is a fun stream for everybody. Jeff Fleischman, definitely not giving up yet. Michael Randall out in front, definitely under pressure from Tommy Kogan and the Nissan behind him. Oh, the Nissan behind him might be the Nissan in front of him, at least side by side with him, coming up into turn one. Got the inside line. That's the place to be. Actually, that's going to be an easy pass for him. Not sure what happened there. If that Porsche's just down on power, or, ooh, they're going to get very close there. But it is going to be Tommy Kogan out in front of it. Jeff Fleischman gets around the Porsche, Michael Randall as well. Yeah, that Porsche must be down on power or have some damage or something. Does look a little scuffed. Doesn't look like it should be enough for him to be losing that much pace. But here comes Jan Stam to take another position. Looking around on the field right now, this does seem to be the closest battle for position, so we're going to hang out with these guys just for a little bit longer. Jeff Fleischman and Tommy Kogan battling it out, although it does look like Tommy pulling a little bit of a gap to the Ferrari behind. Ooh, and actually we can see there that Porsche maybe does have a little bit more pace than we were giving him credit for, because definitely looking on the inside of that Ferrari, trying to make something happen in mineshaft, just no room to make it happen. But certainly not out of the count. Now that I look at it, that Ferrari's seen better days too. But yeah, the speed in the straights though, that is where that Porsche is just getting gapped. Doesn't look like there's much you can do about it either. Gap between Jeff Fleischman and Tommy Kogan is growing as well. Max Sunkenlap yellow flag just out in front of him. Looks like he just got a little too aggressive there coming around Clubhouse, but managed to get it spun around before the S's. Does not look like he lost any positions in that little spat there. Gonna continue his race like nothing ever happened. Nobody saw that. Did you hear that, chat? We didn't see that. Well, not seen much on camera, but certainly some credit needs to be given to Jonathan Seville here up at the front of the pack, just running an absolutely blisteringly fast race here. I gotta see how far off. How far off is he from? Yeah, half second down on the fastest lap they said earlier. With 3 seconds, the white flag is going to wave here. Leader is going to be on the final lap if they are not already. I didn't hear it called out. This might be the checkered flag.
The leader has finished
Yeah,
race.
that is going to be the checkered flag. Jonathan Seville, first time I've seen them here at Apollo Racing Club. Absolutely monstrously fast driver. It'll be very interesting to see what happens next season if they show up. Miles Dixon, I believe their teammate here in the other Honda, going to cross the line in second place. Very, very strong race for them as well. Fred Forsberg not far behind, coming around Cheetah, going to be our third place finisher with quite the monster of a race. Starting in first, getting knocked down to at least 20th, may have been lower than that, going to be finishing in third place. I can already hear him now. I should have been in first. Roadside Cookie going to cross in fourth. Jeff Spangler in the Lexus going to be crossing in fifth place. Mike Jones going to be crossing there. Who is that crossing? Oh, we've got the staggered field. I believe that's Alan Zhu finishing their race there. Andre Afonso going to be coming around Ingwe now to finish up their race. And certainly needing some attention drawn to it. At Andrew Jaski in the chat, promising a top 10 finish. There's the blinkers. Going to be finishing this race in 8th place. Gaining 3 positions in the meantime. An excellent drive from our ARC regular there. Ice Tin right behind him in 9th. Max Sunkenlap making his way around Crocodiles. I think going to be the last car on track to finish off this race in South Africa at the Kyalami circuit. And that is going to be the race over. A season completed, and an absolutely exciting season from beginning to end. Let's go ahead and take a look at our timetables here, even though it's going to boot us over here in just a second. Actually, we may as well hit drive. Take a look at the front of the pack. Everybody's gonna be doing donuts over here. There's our top 3 drivers, the teammates, one another. I saw them on the map. I wanted to see it, but there they go on their little parade around the track here. And that's gonna be it, folks.
Green light, green
That
light.
is our
Go, go.
season over here at Kyalami. And finished with a little parade by our top 3 finishers there. But folks, that's the season over. Massive congratulations to our newcomers there, finishing off in style. And to everybody, especially Andrew Jaski, who showed up in, yeah, there you are in chat. Everybody give that man a round of applause. Comes in with the flex. I'm going to finish P10. No, you finished P8, brother, on the last race of the season. Huge congratulations. Very, very good drive. But that is going to do it for us this season at Apollo Racing Club. Thank you, everybody in chat who joined us to the raid that came in earlier. Let me scroll up in the chat so I can give you a proper shout out here, friend. Where was it? Oh, it was so long ago now. Nova Plays Games, thank you for the raid, brother. Happy to have your chat with us. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream here. I certainly enjoyed having you. Don't know when we're going to be live next. Generally, we take 2 weeks off, sometimes 3, depending on what special events we have going on. But go ahead and give us a follow. Make sure you got those notifications turned on. Just because this season is ending does not mean there are other motorsports to watch. Actually, quite the contrary. We have races every night of the week, folks. Between Codemasters F1, instead of Corsa F1, we've got iRacing IndyCar and Formula 4 now, which is streaming on Sunday nights. Very exciting to watch. That just started soon. But if you'd like to know when we are racing GT3s again, go ahead and join us in the Discord. Take a look over there. Get joined up. If you want to drive, every skill level is welcome. We'll take everybody. Believe me, if they'll take me, they'll take any of you. So, but that is going to do it for me. My name is Matt. It has been an absolute pleasure to broadcast this season here on Apollo Racing Club. I'm very much looking forward to next season. We're going to do some really exciting stuff with the stream, folks. So make sure you get followed up. Make sure you got those notifications on. And when I am live again, We're going to have a lot of fun together. But that's going to do it for me tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to the drivers for a phenomenal season once again. Made my job super, super easy. And I look forward to seeing you all next season. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody.